Hi, Paul Slack is Good News Planet. I'm speaking to Heather Hansen O'Neill. Hi, Heather. How are you?
Hey, Paul. How are you?
Okay, good. Congratulations. Heather is author of a new book called Fire at 40, and she's a award-winning motivational speaker, president of Progressive Image, and creator of the Fire in 5 program. Okay, and the book is called Find Your Fire at 40. Okay, is that creating a joyful life during the age of discontent? Uh-oh. All right. Well, let's start at 40. Why do you pick that age?
Well, that's an excellent question. It's really not only people that turn 40 that are discontent. Unfortunately, nowadays, with everything going on in the world and the economy and the transitions that people are going through, anyone can actually benefit from the 5-step program in the book, Find Your Fire at 40. But it just so happens that typically people do, around this age, come to the realization that they're not exactly doing what they had always wanted to do, and they want to start doing that.
What are some of the other kinds of things they might realize they just might not be living to 7,000?
That might have something to do with it. And people want to be able to look back at the end of their life and say, yes, I did. I am, and I accomplished everything, and I gave back. I created a legacy. And this is about the time when you start thinking about that.
All right, I think it's a good idea by far, and I think we all it's helpful to have help during that process or to listen to someone's thoughts in that regard of what you're sharing, and you've done a beautiful job with the book. So you have it here as 5 simple, sensible steps. Sensible's a good thing. That means maybe somebody can actually do them.
Exactly.
Well, maybe give us a little hint here, and I'm sure people want to go out and get the book as well. But so, what are some ways to make it a little nicer for ourselves?
Well, with the 5 steps, it is sensible. It is very straightforward. It's one of those things that is primarily common sense, but that people just don't often do them. So to give you a hint of some things that you want to do is to take time really to figure out what you want and to believe that you deserve to live a life you love. Oftentimes I find that I'm talking to people that throughout their lives they mentioned that they had a dream and somebody may have inadvertently, with the best of intentions, said, no, you can't do that, or no, that's not realistic, and guided them down a path that really wasn't the best path for them. So one thing that I would recommend to take away from the book is to understand that everyone deserves to live a life they love, and that you can visualize that and then actually take the steps to make it happen. And it's fairly easy once you have a little support behind you.
Aha. We are worthy.
That's right.
Okay. What else is another way to approach it?
Well, something that comes up all the time for me was actually the R step in the FIRE, F-I-R-E, and then 5, is about relationships. And that is how very important relationships are in our journey, and how, to be able to navigate them, to be able to come from a place of compassion but still be true to yourself is very, very important. And one of the things is to take a step back and remove yourself from any negativity and surround yourself with uplifting, empowering individuals. Talk to the people that have been there, that have done the things that you want to accomplish, and they're more than willing to help, most often to help get you to where you need to go. So relationships are very important.
Okay. Now, how does family relationships play in that? Is that good or not good?
Well, one would hope it's good.
Okay.
However, sometimes that's one of those things where sometimes people, just because they don't want you to get hurt or they don't want to see you fail, will be naysayers to your dreams. And to understand, first of all, that they're coming from a place of pure intentions, and second of all, that you don't have to listen to that you can do what you want to do, and you can bring them along, or you don't have to. You don't have to force them into your dreams, and they don't have to take away what you want to accomplish. So being able to navigate that and understand the best ways to adapt your behavior to be most effective with your communications is very, very important. And sometimes the thing is when you're related to someone who is negative, and I'm telling you to take a step back from people that are negative, that's where the challenges occur.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that has its. I'm just going to throw out a movie I saw last night called The Boxer, and
Yes.
just because that is some family um, various. I don't know, machinations, is that a word? I don't know.
Yes.
There's a lot going on in a family. And it's true. If it's good, it's wonderful. If it's difficult, you have to figure out how to make it nicer for yourselves, right? All of you.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. And one of the things that a woman that I had done a workshop, and she had come up afterward, and she said, she's a single mom, she's completely overwhelmed with work and trying to do the right thing for her kids, and she said that one of the things that stood out for her about reading the book was that it made her realize that it's okay to take time for herself and to feed her needs, and that it wasn't actually selfish, that it made her better in all of her roles. Because a lot of times people think, well, I don't want to do this because, that I'm taking away from other people, but that's not actually the case. If you can feed your soul, feed yourself, then you will be so much better in everything else that you do.
Uh-huh. Okay. And you'll feel stronger and you'll be more confident as well?
Exactly.
Now, you do say here something, it's Women's Month, right?
Yes.
It's, what is Women's History Month, okay?
Yes, it is.
Do you think your book is for women only or for men only? I mean, we're all in it together?
Well, you know what? I like that last one there, Paul. It's not just for women. It's not just for men. It's for anyone who is going through transition and wants to take their life to a whole other level. And the reason why we brought up the Women's History Month is that I love working with people who want to who understand that they want to be empowered and they want to take back control of their lives. And an analogy that I use sometimes is that ball of Play-Doh. A lot of the women that I talk to think of themselves as a ball of Play-Doh that sometimes people come along and they roll them out and they mold them into what they expect them to be. But to just kind of take back control of that life and grab that rolling pin and say, no, this is who I am, and appreciate that. Happens so often with the women that I coach and I do workshops and retreats and things, is that they come up and they just want to take back control of their lives and do the right thing.
Uh-huh. Where do you suggest a woman/man to start? So today's a new day. I mean, reading your book by far is a good thing and a helpful tool to work from. Well, let me say, with your book, how do you suggest somebody to? Is there ways? You even got a bonus inside here in the book. How do you suggest someone to utilize your book besides just reading it? Is there some other thoughts?
Sure, that's an excellent question there, Paul, because it has the book is broken down into two parts. The first part is a story, just to engage the reader, to get them to empathize with the characters. But the second part is the how-to, how the reader can then use the same steps that the people in the story went through to transform their lives. And it really breaks down action steps that you can take. But in addition to the book, what you were talking about, you alluded to, is the reinforcement and how you may start with that, but I provided a book bonus for, like you said, for readers, and they go to a specific web page and they're able to download a 25-minute digital audio download that reinforces the concepts within the book and gives a few extra pointers, a few extra tips, but also going to the website, fireand5.com, will help people with, I have success action guides and a blog, so that it's constantly reinforcing the tips, the strategies within the book is very, very important, because sometimes they'll attend a workshop and then they'll go away and not actually take action on what they got excited about. So continually reinforcing it is important.
Was there something major in your life that brought you to doing this kind of work?
Well, I do have to say I've had my business for 15 years, and I do speak all over the country. But I did a lot of corporate work. But how I came to this Find Your Fire at 40 concept was that I personally went through it. I had found myself. I do think of myself as someone who doesn't wallow, that tends to see things a little bit more half glass, the glass half full. However, I had gone through a period where everything just seemed to be overwhelming. When my business was in a slump, the relationship was, I was questioning things, that my kids were driving me a little batty, and I just felt like I had lost me. And so when I went back through that discovery process and I looked around and I did interviews, I wasn't the only one going through this. A lot of times people look in the mirror and they say, who are you? And they think that they're alone. But a lot of people around the world are looking in the mirror at the same time saying, who are you? So just to understand that other people are going through it. And what I did is, like I said, I did these interviews to find out what people had gone through the process of transforming their lives, what they did, what worked best, and I put it into the book.
Yay. Okay, Yay. Heather, last question. What's good? I'm sure we could talk for a lot longer. But what's good news for you?
What's good news for me?
Mm-hmm.
Help me with that. What do you mean?
In
I have
any
good
way,
news all the time.
Personally, professionally, what's in essence,
good?
That's good for you. What
do
you think?
For me, I just love connecting with people. What's good for me is the fact that this book has enabled me to connect more with people, to feel that I like making an impact. The fifth step in the 5 steps is using what you're uniquely qualified to do to give back to the world. And I think right there is the key to creating that legacy, and I feel like I'm finally doing it. I'm finally impacting and creating my legacy, and that makes me so happy, and I just want to encourage other people to find that unique talent and use it to contribute, to give back, because that is how you become truly fulfilled.
Beautiful. Okay, put you at peace.
Yes, exactly.
It's a great thing. Okay, Heather, congratulations. Find Your Fire at 40, and it can be purchased. I see a website, but where else? Everywhere?
Yes, you can go on the website. You can go to Amazon.com now. It will be in the bookstores very shortly, but you can go on Amazon now or go to my website at fireinfive.com.
Okay, congratulations. Nice speaking with you.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Have a great one.
Thanks for sharing the good news. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.